Hi, my name's Isaac, and this is a 2021 Chevy Colorado LT. And today, I'm going to review it for you guys. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, wow, what a scenic, picturesque background you've picked out, Isaac, for your video. Overgrown bushes and a fence with barbed wire. Well, that's not too dissimilar to where I normally review. But these are not just any overgrown bushes and a fence with barbed wire on it. In fact, this is actually the old Nazareth Speedway, located right next to Brown Daub Chevy, and I thought it would be a really cool filming location because of its rich Pennsylvania heritage. Before we begin, I want to thank Brown Daub Chevy for allowing me to review this vehicle. For all your Chevy needs, you can visit Brown Daub right off of Nazareth Pike in Nazareth, Pennsylvania, or at their website, browndaubchevy.com. Starting out up front on this 21 Colorado, this model year has been mid-cycle refreshed, so you have a newer design here on the front grille. You know, when I saw the first promotional shots of this, I wasn't really sure how I felt about it, but seeing it in person, I do think it looks really rugged and aggressive, especially with this black bow tie right here and these red tow hooks on this LT model. If I had to levy one complaint towards the front end of this truck, it disappointingly only has halogen headlights, turn signals, and fog lights. No options for LEDs yet, though hopefully on the 2022 or 2023 new body style, those will be options on the Colorado and the Canyon. That's a complaint I also mentioned on the Canyon. Moving underneath the hood in the 21 Colorado, it is powered by a 3.6 liter V6, making 308 horsepower and 275 pound-feet of torque. That's mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Moving to the profile of this Colorado, I've had yet to mention that this is the Red Line Special Edition, so that's why you get the red tow hooks on the front. You have the, for lack of a better term, red lines on the wheels. You'll get a red stripe across the mirror cap. The mirror cap is also gloss black. It says Red Line on there. Your Colorado badge is kind of embossed with the red. I really like the contrast between the black and the red on there. You'll get gloss black door handles, and on the rear wheel, you'll also get those red racing stripes. I guess that's a better term for them. Speaking of the wheels, they're 18-inch gloss black wrapped around 265 60R Wrangler tires. I think they give this truck a really aggressive, good-looking stance. And then back to the mirror, it is heated, and there is a small blind spot mirror in there, though there is no blind spot monitoring on it. Moving to the rear, the tailgate has also been mid-cycle refreshed. There used to be a Chevy emblem right here. Now Chevrolet is stamped into the tailgate. I much prefer this design. I think it looks a lot better. You'll also have the red accenting around the Colorado logo, and then a V6 badge right here. Moving below that to the bumper, you do have a step for easier access into the bed. Really like how Chevy and GMC implement that step into the bumper on their trucks. Below that, you'll have your towing hitch. If properly equipped, this truck can tow up to 7,000 pounds. And then moving into the bed, first you do have a backup camera right there. Moving into the bed, it is a dampened and aluminum tailgate. I get a lot of people in the comments, a lot of war veterans and tradesmen that have injuries that say they really appreciate the move towards aluminum tailgates because they're a lot lighter to close back up instead of the steel ones. I definitely agree with them on that front. You'll get a spray-in bed liner with some tie downs on here. And then again, if properly equipped, you have up to 1,550 pounds of payload capacity. Before we fully move into the interior of the Colorado, I almost forgot to mention that in addition to lock and unlock, you do also get remote start on this particular LT. Moving into the interior of the 21 Colorado, it's virtually unchanged from the previous model year, though you do get the addition of an auto-dimming rear-view mirror on the LT trims and up now, which is very nice. That wasn't on the previous model years. But I'm still going to give you a full comprehensive interior tour here, starting with the door panels. I mentioned this in my GMC Canyon video. All the windows are auto one-touch down. So one tap, all the windows go down. That's really cool because most vehicles, pickup trucks, SUVs, cars, they only have the driver's side as one touch down. So it's really nice that Chevy included all the windows as one touch down. I really like that. Moving down here, you have your button for your lights and then your four-wheel drive controls. And then up here, you have your trailer braking controls. Moving to the steering wheel, on the back you have your controls for the volume for your infotainment and changing the station. On the front you have your Bluetooth settings and your cruise control settings. And then moving into your gauge cluster, you'll get 2 traditional gauges with a small center screen. Basically, it gives you a digital readout of your speed and everything else you'd expect. You can see your radio on there, what station you're on, stuff like that, your Bluetooth in there, and it's going to tell you which doors are open, if you have a door open, what mode you're in, stuff like that. Moving over to your infotainment over here, it is the same infotainment screen we had before, but it's very, very responsive. It has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You'll have built-in Wi-Fi, and then below that you have your traditional dials. You have these big, meaty dials, so if you have work gloves on or anything like that, they're really easy to turn. You'll have your home button if you want to go right back to your main center screen there. Below that, you have your climate controls, and then even further down, you'll have your hazards, your traction control off, your bed light, and your tow haul mode. Then you'll have a tiny storage cubby right there. Below that, you'll have 2 USBs, an auxiliary, and a 12-volt outlet here in this LT. Then you'll have your shifter, some cup holders, and then opening it up, you do have a really nice storage spot inside here. Overall, very well appointed in here. I say well appointed quite a lot in my videos, but they are. I mean, it's very nice. The armrest is hard touch plastic, which is a little bit disappointing, but down here, it is kind of like a polyurethane. I think that's the right texture. It's like a rubbery texture, which is nice to rest your arm on. And then the steering wheel is wrapped in leather, which is very comfortable on here. Your shifter also, that has this kind of like leather at the bottom here, and it feels like probably polyurethane at the top here too. I've mentioned in my GMC Canyon review, this is my favorite shifter in the industry. I absolutely love it. It makes me feel like I'm driving a fighter jet or something like that, or flying a fighter jet. I guess you don't really drive a fighter jet unless you're taxiing it. Seats are very comfortable. These ones are power operated, up, down, and then back is manual though. But they're very comfortable cloth seats in here as well. You can obviously get the option for leather with heated seats in here on higher trims. Let's move to the back. And finally, moving to the back of the Colorado, it's got pretty good legroom. This is where I'd sit at 5'10", and back here, yeah, I got a good amount of knee room, decent amount of headroom, probably 1.5 inches or 2 sitting up, but this could definitely be cramped for larger rear passengers. Back here, you have 2 USBs and a 12-volt outlet, and then you also do have a fold-down armrest with 2 cup holders right here, and a manually sliding rear window. It's very fascinating to me what takes priority in the rear seats of these mid-size pickup trucks, because in the Tacoma, you have a power sliding rear window. That's the only one in the segment, I believe, with a power sliding one, but it doesn't have the defroster on the back that the Canyon and the Ranger have. This also has USBs and a 12-volt in the rear, which the Tacoma doesn't have, and it has a folding down armrest, which the Tacoma doesn't have. So interesting what the designers are like, okay, put this in, don't put the power sliding window in, but put the USBs in. It's very interesting. They must have meetings about that. I'd love to be in on them, but obviously, like, why would they invite me in on them? That would be weird, you know? Like, yes, small car review boy, please, come into our meeting about how we're gonna design the rear seats of the next mid-sized truck. Oh, me, sir, thank you so much. It was the weirdest bit I've ever done. No, it wasn't. We all know that's not the weirdest bit I've ever done. Oh, good. I locked myself in. Man, I'm the king of locking myself in the back of these things. Probably because they're in transport mode and they have the rear door lock on. All right, coming your way. Finally, the last thing I want to touch upon back here in the rear is the storage space. The Colorado probably has the most versatile storage space in its rear seats in the segment. So you can fold the seats up here, and there's storage underneath right here. You'll have your tire jack down there, and then folding that down, what you can do is you can pop this headrest down, and you can also fold the seats this way for a flat load floor across on the top, and then you also have storage space back here. So that's a really cool design on Chevy's part. All right, so driving the Colorado, I've done the 19 Colorado, so I'm only gonna give brief driving impressions here to wrap up the video, since the mechanical aspects of the Colorado haven't really changed much. But I always really liked how these drive. These Colorados kind of drive like a sedan or like a nice mid-size SUV. They don't really drive like a truck. A lot of people really want that SUV feel. They don't really want the trucky, rugged, stiff feel. And I don't blame them. You kind of want to be able to feel the vehicle you're driving a little bit more, and the suspension, and they want the smooth ride. And this really provides in that smooth ride that some of the other trucks in the segment just can't compete with. So that's why I've always really liked the Colorado. The suspension's really nice, and it just handles well overall, which is something that I think really has differentiated it from the competition in the past when it comes to mid-size pickup trucks. So that wraps up this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed watching. If you could leave the video a like, that would really help my channel, as well as subscribing if you'd like to see more wacky antics and more car reviews from me. That will help my channel going forward. And then also, I'm a Christian, so if you have any prayer requests, you can leave those in the comment section below. I do read all my comments, so even if I don't reply, I'll be praying for you. As always, I hope your vehicle lasts you a long time and it serves you well. And I like to do a daily Bible verse, so here is that Bible verse. Still working on memorizing them in advance before I do these reviews. All right, guys, take care. I hope you have a great rest of your day.